It'll be the subject of the offseason. Where on earth will Kyler Murray play in the year 2026? And yes, it still could be the Arizona Cardinals. I highly doubt it. Welcome in, NFL fans, to NFL Daily by Chat Sports. My name is Moose, and on today's episode, we're going to break down exactly that. Kyler Murray, trade destinations. Where on earth could Kyler play in 2026? Well, believe it or not, there's not a ton of quarterback-desperate teams. There might be some that might be interested in drafting a quarterback, but trading for a quarterback, it's a completely different sort of thing. And I've only highlighted 4 teams that I believe would actually be interested in trading for Kyler Murray. But let's talk about Kyler's contract situation, because none of it makes sense without bringing up the financials, that cheddar, that pape. Current contract, 5 years, $230.5 million. Average salary per season, $46.1 million per year, and a 2026 cap hit of $53.2 million. So I'm going to be completely 100% honest with you. I'm going to keep it a buck. I don't necessarily know that there's a lot of teams that would want to look at that contract and say, yep, I'll trade for this right now. I just don't see it happening. Not unless Arizona decides to take on some of that contract, money. If they pay half of the contract, okay, different, set of circumstances here. But with the let's call it $53.5 million cap hit, who on earth is going to want to trade for Kyler Murray? And he doesn't even compare to some of the others of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL. It's not close. So that should tell you something. For a guy with his size, for a guy with his price tag, I just don't know that the market for Kyler Murray is all that great. Now, sure, will there be some team that is like, hey, we're kind of interested? Of course, but it'll be a limited market size. Because of his size, what is he, 5'9" on the dot? Correction, or not a correction. I'm 5'9". So he's the same size as me. That's a problem. Definitely a problem. So here's what I'm going to let you know. There are only 4 teams, in my opinion, that would actually be interested in trading for Kyler. Let's start with the first one, the Saints. Saints are in a unique situation. They've got a brand new head coach. Okay, nice. They've got 2 young quarterbacks. Both of them could be moved, but they're not a good football team. 2-8, no clear answer at quarterback. Yes, they like Tyler Shuck, but is he the answer? Nobody knows yet. They've got a new head coach in Kellen Moore with a brand new offensive scheme, and both quarterbacks, like I said, are on rookie deals. Very easy to move and very cheap. And if you remember, the Saints also don't really care about being in the negative, because right now the Saints' salary cap in 2026 is about minus $10,000. They're $10,000. Good God, I can't talk. They're $10 million over the cap in 2026 as of right now. Well, believe it or not, the Saints signed Derek Carr when that happened, when they were about $90 million over the cap. So it can happen. You can make things happen. You can push that can down the road in a restructuring if you really wanted to get Kyler on the field. But again, we're talking about a 5'9" quarterback that is, in my opinion, mid at best. So I think, honestly, he's going to stay in Arizona as the backup. I don't know if they draft a quarterback. They might. I don't know if they roll with Jacoby Brissett if they draft a quarterback. They might. But I'm going to stake my claim for Arizona before we get on out of here. And we're not close to done yet. But I'll ask you this question really quick. Where will Kyler Murray play in 2025? You let me know in the comment section down below. Our second team on this list of Murray destinations, the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders fans will probably be like, hell no. But I'll be the first one to clap back at Raiders fans. It can't be worse than what you've got right now. They are currently considering a complete house cleaning. Everybody. Chip Kelly, gone. Pete Carroll, gone. Geno Smith, gone. Speaking of Geno Smith, he leads the league in interceptions. Yikes. And they also have plenty of draft capital to make a trade this offseason if they were to go out and do that. So if they said, hey, Arizona, we'll give you a conditional third-round pick for Kyler Murray, okay, let's make it happen. And if you look at the numbers, I get it's a different kind of sample size. Kyler's only played in 5 games. Geno's played in 10. But the numbers are awful for Geno Smith. 12 touchdowns to 13 interceptions. I don't think Kyler Murray on his worst day could be playing this bad. Truthfully, I think he's limited based off of his size. And once he stops being a mobile quarterback, once he stops being that guy that can flush outside of the pocket, he doesn't really have a game. But I do kind of see this as kind of a likely possibility. The Raiders need all the help they can get. They're going to be going balls to the wall in the draft, and I'm sure they're going to try to surround whichever quarterback they've got next year in as many weapons as they could possibly get. Now, before we get into those two teams, I got to tell you about my friends over at Ethos. Just got married, my friends. Take a look at the bling bling. And trust me when I tell you this, life insurance at the very top of my to-do list. High priority stuff. Life insurance is one of the most important investments you can make in your family. And now with Ethos, you can get covered and protected in minutes with rates at less than $23 a month. Ethos is an online platform that makes getting life insurance fast and easy to protect your family's future in minutes, not months. Ethos, by the way, has no medical exams. Just answer a few easy health questions online. It's 100% online, and their hassle-free process makes it easy to apply. You can get same-day coverage without ever leaving your house. You've got to protect you and your family with life insurance from Ethos. Get your free quote at ethos.com/NFL daily. That's ethos.com/NFL daily. I'm going to have all of this in the comments and description of today's video, but one more time, protect your family with life insurance from Ethos and get your free quote at ethos.com/NFL daily. Our third team, the New York Football Jets. And the Jets, of course, in another really precarious situation. Not because they are a bad future team. There's some teams in the NFL that don't have any futures. The Jets actually have a bright spot in their future. Multiple first-round picks after they traded away Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. But they just benched Justin Fields for Tyrod Taylor. And didn't they pay Justin Fields that 2 years, $40 million contract? But despite that, projected $99 million in cap space in 2026. What does that tell you? The Jets are going to be very, very aggressive in getting players to join their team, and they believe that they're just a couple of years away from being a legitimate contender. I think they're a lot further than that, but potato. Will the Jets draft a quarterback, though? That is the main question, because they do have those multiple first-round picks coming up. And the real question that you have to ask yourself is, are they willing to trade for a quarterback, or are they going to explore drafting a quarterback here in 2026? Because the likelihood is they're most likely getting a top 5 pick. So could you get Fernando Mendoza? Could you get Dante Moore? Tough to say. I personally believe if I'm the Jets, I'm drafting a quarterback. I wouldn't go trade for Kyler Murray. I know what Kyler Murray is. I would roll the dice on making sure that I got one of these young guys and kept my cost low so that I could go out and sign other players. Get some offensive line help, get some more wide receiver help. They desperately need that. And just surround whatever quarterback you draft with a ton of talent and then go from there. The final team on this destination list, the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are probably in one of the worst situations in the entire NFL. First of all, they've got no first-round pick in 2026 because of the James Pierce Jr. trade with the Los Angeles Rams, and that looks like right now a top 7 pick. Michael Penix Jr., we were just confirmed, is out for a minimum of 9 months with an ACL injury, and Kirk Cousins, who you might look at it and go, well, they've got Kirk. Well, no, they're going to cut him because he's a $35 million cap savings in 2027. I think the Falcons are going to end up drafting a quarterback. However, it was confirmed by the Falcons head coach Raheem Morris that you've got to change your quarterback plans. This is from one of the Falcons beat reporters, Mark Raimondi, who was there, asked the question himself, and Raheem said, you've got to pivot now with the Michael Penix Jr. stuff because he's playing at earliest in August of 2026. So he might not even get onto the field until, week 3, week 4, maybe? Everything's going to depend on his rehabilitation. It is definitely panic, by the way, amongst Falcons fans on Michael Penix Jr. So if the Falcons were desperate enough, what could they do? They could send a third-round pick. They could definitely say to the Cardinals, hey, we need a certified veteran starter, somebody that could stabilize the quarterback position until we figured out another plan later on down the road. It would be a quick fix for a problem that really doesn't have a solution right now in Atlanta. So if you had to pick a team out of the ones that I just listed, let me know. And if you think none of them, type your O for other. And then, of course, let me know in the comment section down below which team you think he's going to play for at all if he does play next year in 2026. He could just be a backup for the Arizona Cardinals. That's going to do it for us on today's episode. A reminder to hit that subscribe button. Get your comments down in the comment section like today's video. And as always, NFL fans, be cool.